Welcome to 6th Standard Science Term 3 Unit 3 Part 2 Chemistry in Everyday Life. Chemistry in Everyday Life. So children, listen carefully to the session, and in case if you have any doubt, make a note of it and it will be rectified on the day of reopening. Children, it's time to revise our previous session. In previous session, we have seen what is chemistry. Chemistry is the branch of science which deals with the study of particles around us. It explains the properties of basic components of particles such as atom and molecules and the effects of their combination. And then, what is chemical changes? Chemical changes occur when a substance combines with another to form a new substance. For examples, burning of paper, cooking an egg. And what is physical changes? In physical changes, only the shape, size or volume changes. The state of the matter may also change from liquid to gas or from liquid to solid. For examples, melting of ice and breaking of glass. And next we have seen soaps and detergents. Bathing soap and washing detergents are kinds of soap which are used in our daily life. In addition to this, we are using washing powder to remove strong stains on the clothes. Next, the manufacturing process and the usages of certain materials such as fertilizers, gypsum, Epsom, plaster of Paris, cement, phenol and adhesives. Okay children, first let's see fertilizers. Children, what is fertilizers? Fertilizers are organic or inorganic substances containing chemical elements that improve the growth of plants and the fertility of the soil. Children, I will repeat this. Fertilizers are organic or inorganic substances containing chemical elements that improve the growth of plants and the fertility of the soil. Children, apart from water, sunlight and air, certain nutrients are also needed for the growth of plants. And we know that the plants get their nutrients from the soil. The plants get their nutrients from the soil. Nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium are the three important nutrients. Children, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium are the three important nutrients. Among the various nutrients needed for the growth of plants, for examples, chloride, zinc, manganese, nickel, iron, copper and calcium, etc. Nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. These three are called as principal nutrients. Nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. These three are called as principal nutrients. The chemical formula of nitrogen is N. The chemical formula of phosphorus is P. And the chemical formula of potassium is K. Children, fertilizers given to plants can be classified into two. They are organic fertilizers and inorganic fertilizers. Fertilizers given to plants can be classified into two. They are organic fertilizers and inorganic fertilizers. First, let's see organic fertilizers. Fertilizers containing only plant or animal based materials or those synthesized by microorganisms are called organic fertilizers. These fertilizers can be prepared easily. This type of fertilizers are economical. For examples, vermicompost and compost. Now let's see what is vermicompost. Vermicompost is the process of breaking down of organic material through the use of worms. Its end product is a substance called vermicompost or worm castings. Children, what is vermicompost? Vermicompost is a process of breaking down of organic material through the use of worms. Its end product is a substance called vermicompost or worm castings. Vermicompost is a nutrient-rich organic substance that can be added to soil to increase its organic matter content and nutrients. Next, let's see the compost. Let's see. Compost is made by decomposing organic materials into simpler organic and inorganic compounds in a process called composting. Children, what is compost? Compost is made by decomposing organic materials into simpler organic and inorganic compounds in a process called composting. Children, in this process recycles various organic materials otherwise recorded as waste products. Okay children, next let's see inorganic fertilizers. Inorganic fertilizers prepared by using natural elements by making them undergo chemical changes in the factories are called inorganic fertilizers. Children, I will repeat this. Inorganic fertilizers prepared by using natural elements by making them undergo chemical changes in the factories are called inorganic fertilizers. Okay children, now let's see some examples of inorganic fertilizers. Urea, ammonium sulfate and superphosphate. Urea, ammonium sulfate and superphosphate. Children, do you know earthworms take organic wastes as food and produce compost castings. So, earthworms are known as farmers' friends. Earthworms are known as farmers' friends because of the multitude of services they provide to improve soil health and consequently plant health. Okay children, now let's move on to the next topic, cement. In ancient period, the houses were constructed by using the mixture of lime, sand and wood. Children, in ancient period, the houses were constructed by using the mixture of lime, sand and wood. At present, the people are widely use the cement for constructions of houses, dams and bridges. The people are widely use the cement for constructions of houses, dams and bridges. Children, the cement is manufactured by crushing of naturally occurring minerals such as lime, clay and gypsum through milling process. The cement is manufactured by crushing of naturally occurring minerals such as lime, clay and gypsum through milling process. Cement becomes hardened when it is mixed with water. And gypsum plays a very important role in controlling the rate of hardening of the cement. During the cement manufacturing process, a small amount of gypsum is added at the final grinding process. Children, gypsum is added to control the setting of cement. Gypsum is added to control the setting of cement. Children, do you know? In 1824, Joseph Ashdin invented Portland cement by burning finely ground chalk and clay in a kiln. It was named Portland cement because it resembled the high quality building stones found in Portland, England. Children, in 1824, Joseph Ashdin invented Portland cement by burning finely ground chalk and clay in a kiln. It was named Portland cement because it resembled the high quality building stones found in Portland, England. Now let's see the uses of cement. Mortar, concrete, reinforced cement, concrete. Mortar, concrete, reinforced cement, concrete. Okay children, now let's see one by one. First one, mortar. Mortar is a paste of cement and sand mixed with water. In houses, mortar is used to bind building blocks for constructing walls, to apply a coating over them and to lay floor. Next one, concrete. Concrete is a mixture of cement, sand and gravel. It is used in the constructions of buildings, bridges and dams. Children, gravel is nothing but it is the loose aggregations of rock fragments. It is the loose aggregations of rock fragments. Next, reinforced cement concrete. Children, reinforced cement concrete is a composite material by mixing iron mesh with cement. This is very strong and firm. Children, what is reinforced cement concrete? Reinforced cement concrete is a composite material by mixing iron mesh with cement. This is very strong and firm. And it is used in the constructions of dams, bridges, centering works in houses and the construction of pillars. Next, huge water tanks, water pipes and drainages are built with this. Now let's move on to the next topic, gypsum. What is gypsum? Gypsum is a soft, white or grey naturally available mineral. What is gypsum? Gypsum is a soft, white or grey naturally available mineral. Children, this is the picture of gypsum. The chemical name of gypsum is calcium sulfate dihydrate. The chemical name of gypsum is calcium sulfate dihydrate. The molecular formula of gypsum is CaSO4 2H2O. The molecular formula of gypsum is CaSO4 2H2O. Now let's see some uses of gypsum. Children, gypsum used as fertilizers, used in the process of making cement, in the process of making plaster of Paris. Now let's move on to the next topic, Epsom. What is Epsom? Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate hydrate. The molecular formula of Epsom is MgSO4 7H2O. What is Epsom? Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate hydrate. The molecular formula of Epsom is MgSO4 7H2O. Children, see, this is the picture of Epsom. Next, let's see the uses of Epsom. Eases stress and relaxes the body, helps muscles and nerves function properly, medicine for skin problems and improving plant growth in agriculture. Next, let's see the plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris consists of fine white powder, calcium sulfate, semihydrate. Plaster of Paris consists of fine white powder, calcium sulfate, hemihydrate. The molecular formula of plaster of Paris is CaSO4 1/2H2O. The molecular formula of plaster of Paris is CaSO4 1/2H2O. Children, see, this is plaster of Paris. Now let's see the uses of plaster of Paris. In making blackboard chalks, in surgery for setting fractured bones, for making cats for statues and toys, etc. in construction industry. Okay children, next let's move on to the next topic, phenol. Children, have you ever observed the oily material which is used to clean your house? Do you know what it is? Yes, it is a chemical named as phenol. Children, phenol is a carbolic acid of an organic compound. It is a necessary ingredient for preparing variety of phenol products. The molecular formula of phenol is C6H5OH. It is a weak acid. It is a volatile white crystalline powder. White crystalline powder. It is a colorless solution but changes into red in the presence of dust. It irritates when exposed on human skin. It is used for industrial purpose. Now let's see the uses of phenol. Phenol used in mouthwash. Phenol used as surgical antiseptic since it kills microorganisms. It is used as a disinfectant in household cleaners. Next, let's move on to the next topic, adhesives. Children, what will you do when a page of your book is torn accidentally? It can be fixed by using a sellotape. Children, how sellotape works? Sellotape is a paste-like material in one surface on the sellotape. The paste-like substance is called adhesive. The paste-like substance is called adhesive. Adhesives are substances that are used to join two or more components together through attractive force acting across the interfaces. Adhesives, commonly known as glue, mucilage or paste. Adhesives, commonly known as glue, mucilage or paste. Children, there are two kinds of adhesives. One is natural made from starch and another one is artificial made from chemicals. Now let's see the natural adhesives. Natural adhesives are made from organic sources such as vegetable, starch, dextrine, natural rinse or animals. They are often referred to as bioadhesives. For example, a simple paste made by cooking flour in water. Artificial adhesives. Artificial adhesives may be classified in a variety of ways depending on their utilities. Their forms are paste, liquid, film, pellets and tape. Okay children, now we came to an end of this lesson, chemistry in everyday life. So I hope all of you understood. So you can refer your textbook. Today's topic is covered from the page number 37 to 41. Okay children, it's time for questions. First one, give an example for inorganic fertilizer. Second one, what are the uses of gypsum? Third one, what are the ingredients of the cement? Fourth one, what are the uses of phenol? Fifth one, what are the uses of Epsom? So children, try to answer all these questions.